So when we're talking about our stride direction, that's the path that our front foot takes towards the pitcher if you're a step guy. A lot of coaches over the years have said different sorts of sayings or things to help me with that, and I wanted to pass those along. Some coaches say step to the pitcher, some say step to the ball, some say step even with the line. All of them make sense to at one point or another, but what's it going to take for you to be effective? Something I found that's universally helpful is visual and physical cues to help us with that. If you're not able to access a nice indoor facility, or you're not able to go out to the field, maybe you're in a bad part of the country with weather right now, you can get better anywhere and everywhere as long as you have just a little bit of space. Your bedroom, the living room, the garage, anywhere you have space, as long as it's okay with mom and dad to be having your bat in there. If it's not, just put the bat away. We're just working on stride direction anyways. Something I found is a simple PVC pipe can be really effective. You can feel it, you can see it, you can help with your stride direction. Set it up, get your back foot on one part of the pipe, get your front foot with the other, and just close your eyes and take steps over and over and over. Once you close your eyes, load step forward, check where you're at. I'm off maybe a quarter of an inch there. Cool. Reset, do it again. Load step. Oh, I felt that. I got a little bit cross there. Okay, cool. Reset it up. Let's do it again. Close eyes, load step. Neat. Feels good. If you're willing to put the effort in and the time in, you get your foundation right with these repetitions, your swing's going to be much more consistent. Another one that you're able to use for your stride direction is maybe just a simple line. If you have some duct tape and you put it on the concrete, try to make it as straight as possible and use that piece of tape as your stride direction if you don't have access to a PVC pipe or a 2x4. Put some tape on, get your toes even with the tape, close your eyes, practice your load step. Once you've stepped, open your eyes, see where you're at. Okay, I was a little close there. Got to do a little bit better of a job. Reset your toes up, close your eyes, load step. Awesome. Pretty consistent with that. Do it again. Maybe come out, reset, and come back in just to test yourself. Close your eyes, load step, check where you're at. Cool. I'm not saying we've got to be picture perfect. I'm not saying we've got to be machines. If we're relatively in the right space, give or take, a quarter inch, a half inch, we can definitely adjust that. But if we're talking big stride direction changes where you're taking your tee work or you're taking front toss and you're stepping to the ball and you're stepping across, or that pitch is inside and we're stepping way out, that's going to be a big problem for our swing, especially as we get a little bit older. So now that you've put the homework in at the house without having to hit a ball or have a facility to hit them in, or at the field, you've put your stride direction work and you've got your central nervous system to go, okay, this is where I stride. This is how the direction that I go in is consistent. Now let's put it into practice. So we're going to get set up, take your nice easy stance, bottom hand, inside corner of the plate, bring it up, close your eyes. Cool, my barrel's over the middle. By the time I take my swing on middle pitches, that's where my barrel is. All right. So now you take either your piece of tape or your PVC pipe. Give yourself just a little bit of room. We don't have to be right on it. That looks to me pretty good. We'll straighten that out just a little bit. Cool. It's relatively straight towards the line. Now it's time to take some swings. If you find yourself where you are overstepping towards the ball, the pipe's going to tell you. Or your 2x4. Anything and everything that you have to keep your stride direction straight is going to be super beneficial. So we'll start with pitches down the middle, checking our stride direction. If you find yourself stepping across a little bit or stepping out, just make an adjustment. Maybe practice 2 or 3 times. Oop, moved it. Okay, got to reset. But be sure, after every repetition, you check your front foot. Where am I in space? Where am I relative to my straight line? All right, so the last part of the stride direction drill is to put it into practice with inside-outside tee work. The reason I have the tee set up is because it makes it consistent of a location and a height for us, so we're not dependent on the front toss. If you're not able to have somebody come toss to you, if you're not able to have a facility to go hit inside, or if the weather outside is too poor, we can still get work in and make sure our stride direction is in the right area, in the right place. So this last part kind of encompasses every part of the videos that we've worked on over the last month. We've talked about pitch depth. We've talked about setup. We've talked about adjusting inside outside depending on the depth of the pitch. We've talked about our stride direction. We've talked about our head placement. Now it's time to put it all together with inside outside tee work plus our stride direction. Here's how it should look. A lot of kids, when they first start out and they're not trained on this stuff yet, they'll say, all right, go ahead and hit that outside ball. Cool. And they'll go step to it. They'll step across it. All right, hit that inside ball. All right. They'll open up to clear space for their hands to get that inside pitch. The reason we started with the ball down the middle is because the middle ball is the most comfortable for most kids in my experience. We want to get that stride direction squared away and straight every time, or as consistent as possible for pitches down the middle while it's comfortable. Now that we have that comfortable stride direction and setup, now it's time to apply it to inside-outside pitches. We don't have to call out the pitches here. You can have the kids just do it on their own, or if you want to challenge them, you can call it out. The most important part about this drill, making sure that stride direction is the same every time. So as we're setting up, outside ball is even with the front foot so that by the time we take that step, the outside ball is on the thigh and the inside ball is in front of the front foot. Go ahead and reset, check your feet, make sure we have just a little bit of gap off that pipe, that 2x4, that piece of tape, whatever you're working with. Eyes are on the pitcher. During the load, the eyes and head comes down. Then we hit that line. So just make sure that when we're working inside-outside pitches, we're off the plate or set up off the plate the same. We're in our stance. We can comfortably touch that inside corner so that by the time we take the swing on the middle pitch, our barrel's down the middle. Now we can just adjust in and out. Make sure our eyes and head are on the pitcher. While we load back and stride, our head and our chin starts coming down so that we're picking up that ball that we're going to hit. Eyes on the pitcher. While we load back, head and eyes come down. Find that ball you're going to hit and let it rip. Now, a good challenge part of this, make sure that that pipe, that 2x4, that piece of tape is not being obstructed. We're not stepping across it or stepping way off of it. Challenge part is have a coach, player, friend, teammate, onlooker call out the ball that they want you to hit. They call it outside, you hit outside. Call out inside, you hit inside. One thing I've learned over the years, and this goes a little bit deeper, is our approach. This is not an approach video. This is just a stride direction video, but this drill will be a lot easier if you expect outside, react inside. I'm going to go into depth in this further, but during this drill, in your mind, we're expecting outside, reacting inside. Make sure that front foot is lined up even with your outside tee so that by the time you take that step, your foot's in the middle of the plate. Outside ball is on your thigh. Inside ball is 8 to 12 inches out in front of your front foot. Go ahead, coach.
Outside.
Make sure you're checking your stride direction after every swing, not too far off the pole or the 2x4, and definitely stepping across, you'd feel it.
Inside.
Head on that pitcher. As you load back, your head and eyes turn towards the contact zone.
Outside.
And then they stay there when you're done. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it helps you out in your upcoming season and gets you a little bit better this year. Please subscribe and like this video. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Look forward to seeing you again.